hao.
Halo semuanya.
Welcome on board this special program with CGTN and TVRI World. I am CGTN's Xu Xinchen.
And I'm TVRI World's Audrey Toyo.
And Audrey, we're at a very special place, isn't it?
Yes, we are. We are currently at Halim Station, Xinchen, one of the stations on the route of the Jakarta-Bandung High-speed train. It connects the very busy capital of Jakarta with the city of Bandung.
And I've heard Bandung is also a very popular tourist city and the fourth largest city in Indonesia. This railway link spans over 140 kilometers, 142 kilometers to be more specific, and the train can travel at a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's really fast. Can you run that fast?
I hope I can. I will
Try
try.
to run.
I'll try to catch the train.
And what's interesting is that, there's a very busy route between Jakarta and Bandung because Xinchen data shows that every single year there's actually around 40 million cars that pass through the Bandung toll gate from Jakarta and an additional 4 million passengers that commute through the intercity trains.
Those numbers were just pre-pandemic, but still a very busy commute between the two cities. And now, with this high-speed rail open, travel between the two cities, the time span is more than half.
Wow, more than half.
More than half.
I'm sure it's going to be really fast because usually it takes about, I would say, 3 hours to go between these two cities. And now with the presence of this train that is right beside us, it will only take a mere 45 minutes.
At a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour, that's the charm of it. And also, there are tons of technology loaded on the train, on the rail. And to be more specific here, on this specific rail, it's also equipped with earthquake monitoring system.
Wow.
And let's do not wait. Try to get on board one of the trains.
Let's go in.
Let's go.
Choo-choo.
Welcome on board.
Welcome on board. This is the high-speed railway train between Jakarta and Bandung.
Fantastic. And it looks just like the trains that I've been used to back in China, the same high-speed train technology. How do you like it?
Yes, me too. Actually, I've also been on a high-speed train in China from Xi'an to Chengdu and back. And I would say this is quite similar.
Absolutely. And the same smooth ride that we're expecting here. And I've heard, actually, Indonesia has one of the most integrated transportation systems in the world. But of course, still, the congestion is an issue, right?
Yeah, it is definitely an issue, Xinchen. That's why people here during the weekends, especially Jakartans, we usually go out of the city.
And well, where will they go?
Can you take a guess?
I'm thinking about it because this railway links Jakarta and Bandung is a very popular tourist city. I'm guessing Bandung.
It is Bandung.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it has such good food, and Bandung is a really beautiful city, and so we just love going there. And that's why, due to the frequency of travel between these two cities, we actually have a video to show you why this high-speed train is needed. Roll the clip.
Let's have a look.
Jakarta is one of the greatest cities in Indonesia. It's a commercial center where you can find the most advanced integrated public transportation in the nation, like Transjakarta, a bus rapid transit system where the buses run in dedicated lanes or busways. Also this one, MRT Jakarta, is Indonesia's first underground train system in the city. It's fast and super convenient. Jakarta is driven by a strong hustle culture, 9 to 5, even beyond. Traffic jams almost everywhere. Working people usually get home late because of that. Welcome to Jakarta, man! Based on the list and most stressful cities index 2021, Jakarta ranked as one of the most stressful cities in the world. You can imagine living in Jakarta is quite challenging. So what do people in Jakarta do to get away from the stress on the weekends?
Jakarta kalau misalkan jalan-jalan tuh kemana sih?
Bogor, Puncak, Bandung kali ya.
Bandung.
Bandung.
Oh, Bandung.
Yes, they travel to the city of Bandung, whether to catch some fresher air, good food, or enjoying the city itself. And the good news is, soon there will be the first high-speed train in Indonesia, connecting Jakarta and Bandung, thanks to the joint project between Indonesia and China, which has been running since 2016. This will be a new history. It will reshape the habitual commute and a major leap in advancement for Indonesia. So why this is important? Let us explain to you in a brief example by going to Bandung.
First, my wife ordered the train. We go to the train platform, get on the train, and waiting until we arrive in Bandung.
我们现在已经到完龙了，从加拿大完龙坐个火车，差不多3个小时吧。哎呀，肚子饿了，我们先走吧。
Second, she opened her phone, ordered the shuttle bus, heading back to Jakarta via highway, checking the time, sleeping, wake up and sleep again, wake up and finally arrive in Jakarta.
到达雅加达了，现在是12点，完龙到雅加达大概3个小时吧，因为没有堵车，堵车的话会比较长。
Last, we off to Bandung via Puncak by backpack on the road, lunch back on the road, another stop, refueling the tank, on the road again, and finally arrive in Bandung.
How was it?
It's mental.
Now, you see why this is important. The trains are designed to run at maximum speeds of 350 kilometers per hour, slashing the travel time to only 40 minutes from the roughly 3-4 hours currently required. It's not only fast, but also sustainable for the environment as it is powered by electricity. We hope the cooperation between Indonesia and China doesn't stop until here, and it can continue to spread to other cities as well, so that everyone will be able to commute faster and more efficiently. As a wise man once said,
国家的进步可以从政府对人民的支持中看出，其中之一就是充足的公共交通，因为社会是国家经济的主要驱动力。
That's a very cool clip, isn't it? Actually, it's done by the winner of a short video contest held by the Chinese Embassy of Indonesia.
Wow.
The contest is still ongoing, and feel free to submit your entries or whatnot. And finally, we're sitting here.
Finally, we're sitting here, Sinchen.
Yeah.
Yes, and look at these seats.
I mean, these seats are definitely
Wow.
looking different than what I've been used to in China. Look at the patterns here.
This pattern is, in fact, a traditional pattern from Indonesia. It's called batik pattern, and in particular, because there's so many types of batik, this is Mega Mendung batik from Cirebon.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
It looks similar on the
It's
dress, isn't
actually,
it?
yeah, the dress that I'm wearing is also a batik dress, a different kind. But I love that they incorporated these Indonesian characteristics into the seat of the train.
Yeah. And look at the designs or adaptations of local characteristics. But do you know the train runs fully on electricity?
What?
Yeah.
No way.
No emission.
No emission.
Yes, very, very highly efficient.
Wow.
And of course, because of the electricity helps the train run this fast, actually.
So not only is it faster,
Yes.
more efficient, but it's also sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely, and there are tons of great technologies, onboard sensors and whatnot, but more specific to the high-speed rail here in Indonesia. It has sensors to really detect earthquakes because, you know, Indonesia is prone to earthquakes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. So I love that everything is already taken into consideration for this high-speed railway. And you know, Sinchen, there are also so many collaboration between the private sectors and the governments from so many years ago just to have this happen. And it is also a staple project under the Belt and Road Initiative, a China-led globalization that is entering its 10th year now.
Absolutely. This year marks the 10th anniversary for the Belt and Road Initiative and, of course, a comprehensive strategic partnership established between China and Indonesia. However, there has been debates surrounding this project because it's large, a lot of money involved. And a lot of people have been questioning about repayment difficulties or about China giving out such a big loan for such a large infrastructure. And earlier, we actually collected the questions from Indonesian college students. And they have questions about the Belt and Road as well. And I've brought them to the Chinese ambassador to Indonesia, Li Qiang. And now let's take a look to see how he answers to these questions.
Let's take a look.
The first question is about China's investment and the lending to developing nations like Indonesia, especially in the face of potential repayment difficulties. So what criteria or guarantees does the Chinese government seek prior to making investments?
I agree with you, it's a good question. But I think we have to bear in mind a bigger picture of all the strategies of developing countries like Indonesia. I have to say that for all developing countries, it is still the top priority to develop for almost all the developing countries, that they are in lack of financial resources. So as a matter of fact, it is for all governments of all developing countries to decide what kind of projects they most need and what kind of financing schemes they would prefer. We have to have the confidence in the wisdom, political wisdom of all governments and the people of the developing countries to make their best choice. For all the financial arrangements, why more and more countries would prefer China's loans? There are two reasons. First, there has never been any political preconditions attached. Secondly, on average, in comparison with the interest rates of most of the other private loaners or multilateral financial institutions, actually their interest rate, average interest rate, are just twice of that of China's loans. So let's have the confidence of the governments of those countries.
But still, there are some people are still concerned with some of the financial packages or whatnot. And shall we move on to the second question? Actually, some students just asked right about that. So the second question centers around the assertions that the Belt and Road Initiative encounters significant challenges. Critics contend the Belt and Road Initiative serves to enhance Beijing's economic sway through infrastructure development. So does the BRI impact the environment or sustainability, and what are some of the measures that does the initiative take to address sustainability concerns?
From the very beginning, the very purpose of BRI is to enhance the connectivity in order to promote development, common development. So if that was just driven by China's own selfish pursuits or geopolitical ambitions, attempts, as described by some Western governments according to their own experience, you can't explain why in the past 10 years, more and more countries get on board. As a matter of fact, according to the statistics promulgated by the World Bank, ever since the launch of the cooperation, BRI cooperation, partners participating in this framework already saw some 4% of increase in the trade volume, some 5% increase in the inbound FDI, and that also increases the GDP growth by the low-income countries participating in BRI by some 3.5%. And also according to World Bank, this cooperation within the framework of BRI has already elevated more than 7 million people out of poverty, and is estimated to elevate some 32 million people out of poverty by the year 2030. So facts tell everything.
That was from the Chinese ambassador to Indonesia, Li Qiang, and he definitely shared a little bit more details about the Belt and Road Initiative, and he reiterated that the Belt and Road Initiative is not driven by China's own interests.
Wow, that's great.
And we're now entering a new carriage.
We are, yes. It looks very different than the one we were in before. I think this is like the canteen area, Sinchen?
I think so. From my experience with the Chinese speed trains, I can see the hot water fountain, microwaves, and the coffee machines.
And these
whatnot.
little
Stools,
bar
people-
stools, I would say. This is very cute, yes.
And people can order food here, heat up their meals or whatnot. Yes.
Wow, this is so nice. And I'm honestly so glad that currently we have this high-speed train in Indonesia because, you know what, fun fact, it's actually been in the talks since decades ago with Japan and China both being very interested and China finally winning the bid.
And I'm also very glad that finally, Chinese high-speed train technology can also be other places, be other countries, and serve the people here in Indonesia. And so right now the trains are ready and the stations have been built, but I'm worried about the constructions.
Me too.
Yeah. And we have another clip prepared just about the construction actions to build the Jakarta-Bandung High-speed Rail. It's speaking of installing all the telecommunication technologies.
Yeah, and it is also made by the winner of a short video contest hosted by the Chinese Embassy to Indonesia. Let's take a look.
作为一个热爱旅行的青年人，我似乎与中国高铁有着不解之缘。在中国留学期间，每当我坐上中国高铁，心里会冒出很多疑问：为什么中国的高铁都很准时？高铁每小时飞驰350公里，那为什么车厢里的东西却很稳定呢？我多么希望印尼也有像中国那样的高铁线路。
大家好，我现在是在我们雅文项目部。
我叫张德贵，是雅文高铁项目的一名翻译和商务人员。我所在的单位中国通号承担雅文高铁通信、信号、信息的系统工程实施任务。能够加入这个项目团队，无疑是我今生的光荣。我能亲身接触到中国高铁的核心技术。
Infrastruktur itu mobilitas barang lebih cepat, mobilitas orang lebih cepat, pengiriman logistik lebih cepat. Inilah yang akan kita pakai untuk bersaing berkompetisi dengan negara-negara lain.
佐科总统曾提出，没有基础设施，不要指望这个国家能够有竞争力。可见，佐科总统非常重视我国交通基础设施的建设。正好，习近平主席所提出的一带一路倡议，让中国高铁走了出去。雅湾高铁项目就这样应运而生。它是中国“一带一路”倡议和印尼全球海洋支点战略对接的标志性工程，是两国领导人亲自推动的项目。
现在我在这个tanjung priok港口这边，我们要欢迎这个我们雅湾高铁的动车组，这是一个非常有历史性的一个时刻哈，所以要好好记录一下。
大家看看这个卸货场景是不是很酷呢？我见证了印尼的历史啊！
非常开心，我们国家终于有一个中国技术的一个高铁。这是我们的动车组。
雅湾高铁正线长142.3公里，全线共设置4个车站：哈利姆、卡拉瓦、帕达拉朗和德嘎鲁瓦。建成后，雅加达到万隆的旅程由当初的3个多小时将缩短至40分钟，可见这速度很可以呀！而且高铁沿线将兴起卫星城市，所以除了给民众带来便利以外，这个项目也将会创造很多工作机会。作为参与这个项目的一员，我决心要做好雅湾项目的螺丝钉。一颗螺丝钉的作用虽然很小，但我定会恪尽职守，尽自己的微薄之力，做好印中两国的沟通桥梁。我还将坚持不忘初心、牢记使命的原则，做到我将无我，不负遥万，不负韶华，不负时代赋予的重任，克服疫情困难，发扬不怕苦、不怕累的精神。为落实“一带一路”倡议，为完成印尼国家战略项目的伟大使命而努力奋斗。雅湾高铁，加油！
Wow, that's a lot of investment as well as effort put into this project.
Absolutely, but the potential is huge. Not only will the high-speed train link reduce travel time, but also creating some 30,000 jobs. That's just based on some preliminary estimates.
That's really amazing. 30,000 jobs. Wow. And you know, earlier today, I also spoke with a train expert to get their insight on what it would be to have this high-speed train and the benefits for Indonesia. Let's take a look. Very interesting. We have come into a time where we are now entering the stage where the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train is finally here. And my question, almost operation. My first question to you, Pa, regarding this project is, what do you think are the benefits of this project of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail, especially to the Indonesian people?
Yes, first of all, Audrey, I would like to emphasize that the operation of Jakarta-Bandung High-speed train is an important milestone for the development of Indonesian railways. Why? Because it means that the Indonesian railways will enter the era of the high-speed technology railways. It is a significant achievement in my opinion, and also Indonesia will be the first country in Southeast Asia region that operates the high-speed train. So I think it will improve the image and the credibility of the Indonesian railways. And I think for the Indonesian people, especially for the people who make traveling between Jakarta and Bandung, I think this high-speed train will provide more values for them, especially for the terms of high level of safety, high level of punctuality, short time of travel, and also high level of comfort of the trip. So I think high-speed train will offer the high quality of the transportation mode compared to the other transportation tools that serve Jakarta-Bandung. This is for the side of the people who make the traveling from Jakarta-Bandung.
What, in your opinion, must the government do in order to mobilize the public to want to use the high-speed train? Because this is something very new for all of us, new technology, new modes of transport. So how do we mobilize the public? How do we instill a mindset in them in which they would have the desire and want to go on this high-speed train?
I think the key point for the government and for the operator of the high-speed train is make more socialization and give the clear description of the benefit of the high-speed train for the people of Indonesia, not only for the mass public transport, but also about the creating the new economic growth, creating the new economic region. So I think it is important and also become the objective or goals of the operation of high-speed train to build, to create, and to open the new economic region.
And Sinchen, experts also agreed that this high-speed train will bring so many benefits, especially for the livelihoods of the Indonesian people.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we are at the final stop.
We are, yes, we are at Tegal Luar, which is in Bandung.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has been a great journey for me to be on board. I'm trying here the Kereta Cepat Jakarta-Bandung, which basically means the Jakarta-Bandung High-speed Railway in the local language, and it has been a great experience.
Yeah, indeed. And you know, this is really just the beginning. We are hoping to see and witness more projects like this in the future.
Grand, but rooted with the real people's lives demand. And thanks for tuning in this very special program on the very first high-speed train here in Indonesia. I'm CGTN's Xu Xinchen.
And I'm TVRI World's Audrey Toyo. We'll see you next time. But for now,
bye-bye.
Bye.